Hello guys, in today's video we're gonna check out the best Nikon portrait lenses in this year. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I've tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability, and many more. To find out more information about these Nikon portrait lenses, you can check out the description below. If you want to get a best quality Nikon portrait lens according to your needs, then watch the video till the end and then decide to buy. At the first position of our list, we have Nikon Z AF-S f/1.8s. The Nikon Z AF-S f/1.8s is the optimal portrait lens for the full-frame mirrorless Z-mount cameras. Incredibly sharp thanks to a sophisticated internal construction, it produces images with dynamic, natural-looking bokeh and produces gorgeous detail even at its minimum focus distance of 0.8 m. Other great features include full weather sealing and an ergonomic control ring designed for tactile operation. The lens benefits from the wide Nikon Z mount, allowing it to gather as much light as possible for smooth operation even shooting in natural light, with nano crystal coat helping you out by controlling for flare and ghosting. For environmental portraits, this lens is a godsend, and you'll find it allows you to fully realize the potential of your full-frame Nikon mirrorless camera. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Samyang MF 85mm/1.4Z. This recently launched Samyang lens is designed for the very latest Nikon Z series mirrorless cameras. But it's a purely manual affair. As well as being manual focus, you can set the aperture from the camera body, so have to use the control ring on the lens itself. By default, stabilization is disabled in the Z6 and Z7 cameras, but you can enable it by entering the lens information in the setup menu's non-CPU lens data section. Focus peaking display in the electronic viewfinder and rear screen helps with accurate manual focusing, which can be critical considering that the depth of field tends to be very tight at f/1.4. Image quality is excellent, handling is very good, and it's great value at the price. The number 3 position is held by Lensbaby Velvet 85. If you're looking for something a little different, then check out the Lensbaby Velvet 85. The term velvet is a synonym for soft focus, and while it might set alarm bells ringing for some, it's a little misleading. That's because the lens is designed to render image detail tack sharp. But your photos will benefit from a soft velvet glow that will permeate the image and intensify towards the edges, something that can be really nice for portraits. This f/1.8 lens can also is a rather handy one, 2 macro mode, meaning that it can double up as a neat close-up lens with the same ethereal soft focus if you so choose, or you can deactivate if you prefer. It's not for everyone though, and most will be better served by Nikon's 85mm lens. But this manual focus only lens does have a certain charm. Next at number 4 we have Nikkor Z 50mm/1.8s. 50mm/1.8 lenses are often regarded as the poor relations of f/1.4 standard primes, but despite its modest aperture rating, this Z-mount lens delivers sumptuous image quality, with amazing levels of sharpness across the whole image frame and negligible distortion or color fringing. The f/1.8 aperture also enables a reasonably compact and lightweight build, in keeping with slim-line mirrorless camera bodies. Even more impressively, the quality of bokeh is remarkably good for a 50mm/1.8 lens with particularly smooth rendition of defocused areas. Autofocus is very fast and virtually silent, and the lens is well built with a weather-sealed construction. The key point here that it's a great portrait lens for the Nikon Z50 and other Nikon Z DX cameras to come, offering a 75mm equivalent focal length and an f/1.8 maximum aperture for softly blurred backgrounds. The number 5 position is held by Sigma 85mm/1.4 DG HSM. Sigma's 85mm f/1.4 art lens seemed to have been a long time coming. So, was it been worth the wait? It certainly feels the part at 1130. It's only 300 lighter than Nikon's new 7200 f/2.8 EVR. Like Tamron's 85mm, this optic features an electromagnetically controlled diaphragm for greater accuracy in high-speed continuous mode, and it also features weather seals. The autofocus is extremely fast and accurate, and image quality is excellent with a wonderfully soft and creamy bokeh, although the lens isn't as sharp as some of its rivals. Color fringing, chroma, distortion, ghosting, and flare are all negligible. All in all, the Sigma 85mm packs a heavyweight punch that's in keeping with its construction. The number 6 position is dominated by Tamron SP 85mm f/1.8 VC USD. This big brother to the Tamron SP 45mm f/1.8 VC USD, which could, at a pinch, be quite a handy portrait lens for a DX format Nikon. The 85mm lens is actually a fraction shorter, despite its longer focal length, and has the same 67 filter thread. It also shares the same combination of an f/1.8 aperture rating and VC image stabilization, while the styling, build quality, and weather seals are also the same. At 660, the 85mm lens is heavier, as it features 13 elements compared with just 10 in the 45mm. Both XLD, extra low dispersion, and LD elements are included to reduce aberrations, and 2 types of nanostructure coatings are included to combat ghosting and flare. Focus smooth, but chroma is a little more noticeable at apertures wider than f/2.8. Center sharpness is impressive when shooting wide open, but it's also excellent right out to the extreme corners of the frame. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Nikon AF-S 85mm f/1.4G. This lens is one of Nikon's finest achievements in engineering, and most pro Nikon photographers reading this probably own it already and bought it as soon as they could. If your budget stretches this far, then the Nikon AF-S 85mm f/1.4G is a near-perfect portrait lens, producing images that are faultlessly sharp in all the right places, with beautiful bokeh in their backgrounds. Constructed of 10 elements in 9 groups, the Nikon AF-S 85mm f/1.4G also has nano crystal coat to control for flare and ghosting. Its rugged construction ensures it can stand up to travel and outdoor shooting. Depth of field is so shallow when shooting wide open that it can take some practice and a good eye to ensure that your focus is precisely correct. It's one of the best portrait lenses around. If money is no object, here's where to put your cash. The number 8 position is held by Nikon AF-S 85mm f/1.8G. Like the AF-S 50mm f/1.8G below, this is the smallest and lightest lens in its full-frame class, measuring just 8 long and weighing a modest 350. Build quality feels much the same, too, down to the weather-sealed mounting plate and the inclusion of a single spherical element. This lens is superbly sharp, even shooting wide open, although naturally the aperture doesn't go as wide as in the Nikon f/1.4 lens. Vignetting is noticeable, while bokeh is beautifully soft. Stopping down gives specular highlights a heptagonal appearance, a consequence of the diaphragm having 7 rather than 9 blades. Next at number 9, we have Nikon AF-S 50mm f/1.4G. It's the most upmarket option in Nikon's 50mm lineup and remarkably compact for a 50mm f/1.4, being only 1.5mm longer and wider than the f/1.8 version, and with the same diameter filter thread of 58. Furthermore, while it's noticeably heavier than the f/1.8 version, it's just a third of the weight of the Sigma 50mm f/1.4A. It feels similar to the f/1.8 in terms of build quality and handling, but with an additional optical element plus 2 extra iris blades. The aperture is more rounded when stopping down. Even so, bokeh isn't altogether pleasing when shooting wide open, as bokeh fringing and chroma are quite visible. However, contrast and sharpness are impressive, vignetting is fairly minimal, and bokeh becomes much smoother when stopping down to f/1.8, beating the Nikon 50mm f/1.8G at the same aperture. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Tamron SP 45mm f/1.8 VC USD. If you want to take advantage of prime lens image quality at medium aperture settings, stabilization can be a real help, hence the inclusion of Tamron's vibration compensation VC system in this lens. The modest f/1.8 aperture rating in this standard prime helps keep the size down and the weight off, and the lens is nicely engineered with premium build quality and weather seals. At 45mm, the focal length is a touch shorter than the more standard 50mm. This equates to 67.5mm on a DX format body. The lens is also full frame compatible, so you'll be a bit closer to your subject than with a classic portrait lens. The stabilizer gives a benefit of about 4 f/stops, and manual focusing benefits from greater travel in the focus ring than with the other lenses on test. Sharpness is excellent even when shooting wide open, while bulk is impressively smooth, both at f/1.8 and when stopping down. That's all for today. We upload camera accessories review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.